Hello, thanks for clicking. I'm Mark Morse. Today I'm going to show off all my Beatles EPs. I decided to do this because I got a lot of new followers with that Beatles tag that I did. I'll link to below. It's called a Beatles tag for 2026. And I just don't want people to think I did a little bait and switch. I do talk about Beatles a lot on this channel, but it is not my exclusive focus. It used to be. If you look at a playlist I call Rediscovering the Beatles, anytime I do a Beatles related video, I put it in that playlist so you can check that out. But I wanted to talk about my EPs because during the responses to the Beatles tag, I noticed some people had some interesting things about EPs. The person I'm thinking about mostly though is Tokyo Brian, Tokyo Record Style. He was talking about how weird EPs are, and he didn't understand the philosophy of them. And I have to say, as somebody who grew up in the Midwest of the United States of America, the EP was a weird and exotic idea to me. I'd be reading these books on the Beatles, and they'd say, and this EP was released, and I'm like, EP? What the heck is that? And it was just very foreign and weird to me, the idea. I couldn't really even imagine what they were. And when I started when I decided to start getting my Beatles collection back together, I wanted to focus on EPs. And if you look at my earliest videos, it's me in my quest to buy all the official releases by the Beatles, their EPs. And so I thought this would be a good time, since I have them all together. I thought it'd be a fun thing to do a show and tell, and I really want to focus on the show more than the tell. So there's a little montage after my little monologue here that you can watch without me blabbing on about things. But I was just going to go through them real quickly. If I was a smart person, I would have got, and I think it was 1981, they released a Beatles EP box set. And it was all the Beatles EPs. There were 14, counting Magical Mystery Tour as 2 EPs. And then they had an extra bonus EP that they put out just for the box set. And it's just called The Beatles, and it has on it The Inner Light, Baby You're a Rich Man, She's a Woman, and This Boy. I don't have that EP, but that's about the only one I don't have. Instead of just buying that box set, I went out and I found these individually. When you see the montage, that's going to be the collection I'm showing you now. I'm going to go through them real quick, and then a slower montage. When you see the montage, just remember that what you're seeing is what I believe to be at least the original sleeves. They're not all OGs. They're not all first pressing. Some are obviously reissues, like there's a Record Store Day reissue I have in my collection. But I just wanted to have all the EPs. I wanted to show them, and I wanted to put the dates when they are originally released. So that's the dates you're going to see on the montage. So without any further explanations, I just wanted to go through the EPs in order, and you'll see them in more detail during the montage. This is the Beatles hits. This was released in 1963 September. And then Twist and Shout, July 1963. Number 3, the Beatles number 1. This was released November 1963. All My Loving. This was February 1967. And when you see my montage, I'll try to put chapters on here so you can fast forward to that. But when you see the montage, I'll show the labels in the back so you'll know what songs are on what. This is my Long Tall Sally EP. This was originally released in June 1964. As you can tell, this is a Record Store Day release. I can't remember what year I picked that up, but I've never opened this one up. Then, A Hard Day's Night, extracts from the film. This is the film extract. So they have 2 EPs for A Hard Day's Night. There's the extracts from the film, and then there's also extracts from the album. So those were both November 1964. Then Beatles for Sale, April 1965. Beatles for Sale 2, June 1965. The Beatles Million Sellers, December 1965. They were cranking out the EPs in 1965. And then the Beatles Yesterday, one of my favorite covers here. March 1966. Nowhere Man. July 1966. And then that classic double EP, the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour, that eventually Capitol Record made into an LP that eventually became part of the Beatles canon. So this is very interesting. Probably my favorite EP. I have several versions of this EP, including a super deluxe box set. I just love this. I love the album. I love the EPs. Super cool. So those are the official Beatles EPs. I do have one more I wanted to kind of show off, though, and it is one that this is a promotional copy for. It's called The Beatles by Royal Command. The Beatles by Royal Command. So you Beatle fans will remember when they were when they performed in front of the Queen, and John Lennon's famous line about the people in the poor seats clapping their hands and everybody else jangling their jewelry. This is on, all those other ones are Parlophone records. This is on Decagon. This is a promotional copy. I'm assuming not for sale, use for promotional use only. November 1963 is when this was released. I just think this is a little cool piece of history. I love having that thing on there with John Lennon and his little quip. So what I'm going to do now is, I just wanted to show them in order here. Now I'm just going to do a montage, and it's going to be all these things, so you can stop it, look at them a little more if you're interested in that kind of thing. I'm going to talk about the Beatles 2026 vinyl tag in another video. I've been getting some great responses, and I just thank everybody. I thank the new subscribers. I thank you guys who come back all the time. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.